Okay, so we're here on the lay day pretty much before that next forecast comes through, and we've just spied Mr. Hofmann here doing a bit of twiddling with his sail. Come on, tell us what you're doing.
Well, I'm putting some spacers in the sail. That means where the cambers are, because when you put more spacers, actually the sail gets more profile. And what you really want to have in speed sailing is profile, especially in the bottom part of the sail, because when you come down that curve, the sail just pushes, forward, and you really want to have a forward spin.
So when you say profile, you mean depth, like
depth,
deeper.
Exactly.
Deeper
because
profile.
when you go downwind, you lose a lot of power due to the angle you have with the wind. So you actually really want to have power, even you are completely overpowered. Once you go around the corner, being the angle that you have with the wind, you suddenly have a loss of pressure. Yes. And if the sail is too flat, then that pressure is just not enough to really keep going. So that's why it's important to have some profile, and today is the perfect day to put some spacers and check it out,
Yeah.
But it's a little bit kind of a puzzle work, you put one, you rig it, you have a look, because too much then kind of, puts too much pressure on the camber, so you have to do one and check and do another one and check. So today's the perfect day to do that.
Okay, well, let's have a look. So spacers, just basically a little...
Spacers. Look, I put, for example, here, you can see I put two inside, and it'll give more profile. Up here I put one and one. And now I pop the mast in. I will download it and then have a look at it. And if I like it, it's okay. Otherwise, I'm going to put one more.
Okay.
So you see this. I have a whole bag.
It's a bit like trial and error, really, isn't it?
Exactly. I actually forgot them, and I got them from Mikkel. That's why I went up to the hotel. First of all, they accused you. They said, "Oh no, the bag is not there anymore. It's Ben. Ben had it. Yeah, it was you. It was always you." I said no, and then Mitch came up and said, "No, here's the bag."
There's a good forecast coming, isn't there? It looks like we have a few more.
I haven't seen the last one because there was one issued at 1 o'clock our time, so I haven't seen that one. But the last 2 or 3, they update Wind Guru every 6 hours. And first they were taking it away. Now they start 2-3 times in a row to confirm it. It seems like the key days will probably be like Tuesday and Wednesday, which seems to be like the really hardcore days. Probably the day before is going to be maybe a good day for you or something, or let's say to give it another warm-up.
Yeah.
But then I think it's going to be hard stuff.
Okay. And then hopefully maybe joining the 50-knot club.
Yeah. I mean, I'm ready. The only thing, which is hardcore, is you look at the canal now. When it's windy, there's a lot of sand flying, and you physically have something like a fog layer on top of the channel, because you don't really see the edge. So that's what it makes it pretty tricky. It's something that the organizer can do nothing about it, because it's just like the nature, But when there's a lot of sand flying, it actually kind of covers the channel almost, and you really have to more or less try to just look forward and see, okay, there's the finish gate, and just close your eyes and go.
So, I mean, you've done a lot of your speeds. I've been watching at La Franchi in France. That differs a little bit to here, a little bit squarer angle.
Yeah, well, it does, because obviously being a channel, you are obliged to maintain that route. You cannot, maybe you're in La Franchi, you bear off a little bit, then you feel the pressures going down, you still can, come up a little. I mean, here you are obliged to go in one straight line. And so that kind of limits you a little bit more in the movements. You have to keep that line. On the other side, if you get the big gust and the angle is right, then it's nice, because when you, for example, places like La Franchi, when you start to really go downwind, as soon as you go further away than 50 meters from the beach, the chop starts to be like that, in windy conditions. And here, more or less, we've seen that in the last couple of days, this channel seems to be working very flat. So basically, even in 45 knots, I mean, I'm not saying you have zero chop, but you only have this much chop, which is compared still to a La Franchi like 5 meters from the beach, which is great, So, I mean, the perfect completely flat channel is impossible, because water is always moving, but it is really flat compared to the open water spots.
Yeah, I have heard Sebastian Catlin obviously built this channel a long time ago. He said it's the flattest it's looked this year.
Yes, yeah, sure. I mean, Sebastian, I think for him it's easier because he has the kite, and he can pass everywhere. He's not really worried about sandbanks or anything, so he can always choose the flattest spot, and he can really stay close to the channel. For us, it's a bit more tricky because, you don't really want to catapult when you go 50 knots, so you want to play it a little bit safe. So at the end, I think it's a little bit everything together, how much you really want to risk, because the further you stay upwind, the flatter it is. Risking because, there might be sandbanks, then you really have to have the good gust. You saw that too. I mean, speed sailing a little bit also, let's say when the conditions are up and down, is about luck too, because you have to get the good gust. But then when it's really, really strong, I mean, we talk about if it's super strong, you still have 30 min and 50 top, in there, I think there's no excuses. It's just a matter about holding on and just go.
The balls.
The balls, exactly. And the balls.
Just a bit of information.
Yeah.
What sort of board you running? How heavy are you? Give us some stats.
Okay, yes. So I'm I worked a little bit, did some workouts in the summer because I wanted to put on a little bit more weight. So now I'm around 93, let's say.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you know, if you put a wetsuit and wet harness, and even if you put the weight jacket with no weight, I mean, if that sucks up with water, you almost already 100 kilos, you know. So I'm considering then on the strong wind days to maybe put 10 kilos.
Okay.
I heard about people putting 20, but I think that's really far out of reach at the beginning. I think you have to get used to it too. In La Franquise, mostly I put like 5 kilos. That's the max I ever put. So double it already, I think, is you can do it because on the way back you sit on the truck. You know, it's not like you have to windsurf back, but still, I think the weight will help. Then the boards, I have 2 boards. I have the production board, the 44, and I have a custom board, which is it's 39.5.
Okay.
Which should be the one that I use when it's windy. I mean, the other one was more like a training board because I mean a 44 is like a ship, you know.
It's a big board.
It's a big board, you
and
know.
that's 44 wide.
Exactly.
Obviously, people maybe not.
And fins also, you know, I have a little bit everything between 18 and 21. This is what you. In last day, I 2 fins I hit really badly because you know we had some rocks in the starting area, which sometimes appear because the wind clears up the sand a little bit on the bottom. So, but I have found a local guy here. He fixed them for me. They look quite okay. So I can use them again. And sails, I basically only use 2 sails. I use 5.6 and 5.1.
Okay.
Normally the 5.6 should be used until 40 knots anything. I think 40 plus, then you can probably go down to the 5.1. But as I said, you have a sudden loss of power when you really bear off. So you have to go powered. I mean, when you go here, it almost has to throw you under the sails, so overpowered you have to be to then have the right power to go downwind. Exactly. And so I use asymmetrical fins. Obviously that's normal. Everybody has asymmetrical fins. I use RDM masts in my sail. Even I'm pretty heavy, but I like the feeling of the RDM a little bit better. The sail is a bit more forgiving. It feels a little bit softer because I think still 500 meter is a long way to go. And I think control is the most important. And with the SEM mast, I have the feeling the sail is too direct, you know. And I saw that also other guys like Gunnar and smaller sails, they all use RDM mast. So I think that's pretty much the normal. Yeah. And
asymmetrical boom.
Asymmetrical boom. Yeah, I got a boom. I have one here. You can see 3 types. This type, which is the how can I say? Basically, it's the opposite side of the boom that was put in, which from stiffness is probably the stiffest one because it's stiffer than a straight line.
Yes.
You have some that put like a mast piece in it and it's straight.
Yeah.
And now you have this new one which has Bjorn, which is the 2. They actually put them parallel. You know, Bjorn puts this one that goes like that, which scares me off a little bit because I have the feeling that if you get stuck, you know, when you make a catapult, then your arm gets in there. I don't know. That kind of freaks me a little bit. But we can have a look at it. It's the reason why we have the asymmetrical boom is not so much because of the fact that some people think, you know, the other side of the boom is really carrying turbulences. It's more that this sail is completely free. It's like an airplane wing, you know. It has no turbulences due to the boom up there. So basically, the sail can unfold better. You know, the wind just because the downwind side of the sail is the much more important one. Yeah. And so.
And you can get a lot less out. It's not resting that cross pattern, I suppose, isn't resting on the boom.
Exactly, and so it's not resting on the boom. Exactly, I have a smoother profile here, and so this is how it looks. Then you know, it's like maybe this one I could down on a little bit more. I'm just still experimenting, and you know when the sails are new, they have to stretch in. Mm-hmm. So I try to keep it rigged the whole day to let it go a little bit. And then we see what happens. But I'm really excited. I mean, like we said, the canal is. The perfect canal doesn't exist. I mean, a lot of people see the pics and they think, oh, this is, you know, everybody steps in the canal, you have to do 50 knots. Yeah. But it's not like that. It's still a lot of things that have to come together. Yeah. Sure, the wind plays a big role and the angle plays a big role. And
the balls.
The balls.
Keep going on about the balls.
No, you're right, definitely. So, but I think that if we get the good conditions next week is the week. Seems to be the key week.
Cool, man.
Okay, thanks. Okay, and... see you on this canal, then.
Yeah, we'll see him on the canal. The battle of the commentators.